to another episode of Coded Conversations. This is Kevin.
This is TC.
Man, how's it been going?
Uh, I don't want to say it's okay. Yeah, well, it's okay. Uh, it's a little rough dealing with a release week. Just trying to get some stuff straightened out and get this feature out there and to the public. I'm excited for it, but at the same time, it's like you think you're done, and then something creeps
Yeah,
up.
always a new bug, man.
Yeah.
Is this like your first official release week?
Uh, I I want to say yeah. At least with working with React and stuff, right?
Hmm.
Uh, that's where it feels more official. Where there's it's less. How do I say it? I could whip something up and push it out there, right, and deploy it, but there's so much. Like I can't. There's a lot of red tape, I guess you could say, that goes
Yeah.
into this. It's more like it's more rigorous to like get past that process of okay, does it work? Yes. Does it pass all the edge cases? No. Okay, we're not gonna release it yet, and
Hmm.
I'm trying to just like push and push and push and get it out there, but there's so much quality, I guess you could say. Like there's a standard. That's what I'm looking for. Like there's a
Yeah.
like I could write a big file and it'll work, but the standard or quality just isn't there. And so, when it comes to these big releases, you can't just write whatever. Like they want quality as well.
Yeah. We're pretty much at the end of our release week. We've just been working on bugs nonstop. Sometimes that makes, you might have to stretch out until like, 2 in the morning just because they want all these features in by this certain allocated time period. So
Yeah,
release week is pretty much when, they want to get the software into production and they
yeah,
need everything done. So you have
yeah,
to pretty much push to get the desired features in.
yeah.
So yeah, it kind of leads us into like tech burnout, man. I've been hearing a lot about it lately.
Mhm.
I've even been feeling it myself. What about you?
Uh, I try not to feel it as much. I
Mm.
try to like push it off as much as I can. Not to the point where like if let's say there's a problem that I know that I need to try and resolve, you know, if I if the day hits 8 9 o'clock, I'll leave myself some notes. I'll like save, I'll commit. I'll make a commit, and then I'll just go to bed and like try to solve it the next day. I find that like instead of like hitting that wall like over and over again when you have a problem,
Yeah.
like what works best for me is just like taking a break, like walking away from the problem, and like eventually it's almost like your subconscious mind like kind of comes up with the solution, or you'll
Mhm.
just like randomly have a thought that like might lead to finding that solution. I don't know if you have you experienced that.
I mean, yeah. Sometimes once you take a step away, the solution comes. I think your mind just needs like a break every now and then. Like
Yeah,
even when it comes to studying, you can't just like hammer away at the courses nonstop. You just sometimes you just need to
yeah,
take an hour, 2 hours away,
yeah,
and come back. I think your mind can only work or retain so much information every day.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
But yeah, I've been seeing this story. It was about TikTok. Like they're making their employees like really work. Let me see if I can pull that up. Not this one, but let's see. Okay. Right. Is the article showing up?
Yeah,
Yeah. So, it says many employees report working nights and weekends. Like, interesting enough, man, I've heard like the same thing about like Amazon. It's just a lot of working.
yeah,
Uh, when your work day is over, it's not necessarily over. Like you can still get a call and you have to come on and do some more work.
Yeah, put a fire out. Yeah, that's a dang 85 hours a week.
Yeah, that's insane, man.
Workspace reportedly says they're experiencing sleep deprivation caused by working late and attending meetings with fellow workers located in China. Oh, because yeah, I don't know what the time difference is, but I'm guessing like our the end of our day would probably be the beginning of the day in China.
Mm.
And because I think TikTok is a Chinese-based company, it's almost like you never get sleep.
One employee said he got out of work and back to back all nighters after showing proof to his boss that he had developed a potentially life threatening condition.
Wow.
Like the imbalance between her work and personal life led to sleep deprivation and weight loss. She also had to seek marriage therapy because she was unable to spend time with her husband. Yeah, man,
Wow.
I hear a lot about that kind of stuff. There's the health problems and there's potential things affecting your relationship because you never see that other person that
Yeah. You never see your
you're
family.
with. So yeah, man. You do you think these kind of jobs are worth it, man? Like working like 80 hours a week, but they pay a lot of money.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah,
Like the reward isn't there. Like I could see if you're an entrepreneur and you have your own business and you're hustling, like but even then, like 80 hours a week is overkill. Like
so it's like 16 hours a day for like over a 5 day week, right? Yeah,
yeah, but if it's not a 5 day week, let's say it spreads out to the weekend, right? Like it's just too
yeah,
much. Like is it worth it? Is that paycheck at the end of the 2 weeks? Is it worth it? Like
yeah. I'll say like the only way it's worth it is if you have like a certain goal in mind and you did it for a time period. Like, I'm gonna do this for 2 years, get like $500,000 and just buy a house. Maybe then, but
yeah,
I don't really see it as worth it if you can't do this long term.
no, no, you'll burn out way before then. I don't even know. I can't even I can't see how I would manage that type of stress. Like there's no break,
Mhm.
time for you
Yeah,
to
there's no way to
to breathe.
decompress. I think the only way to do it is if like you actually take time during work, like you take 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there, and do something else. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, but those 30 minutes you're gonna spend dreading. Like I used to work at McDonald's, right? And like but
yeah,
that 10-minute, 15-minute break that you get, it doesn't feel like a break. And you
right.
still hear, like you still hear all the stuff going on. You know how many customers you got in the front waiting and stuff, and it's like
Yeah,
it doesn't feel like a break. It's just like a small pause.
yeah, exactly, man. So yeah, that's a subject that's very important, man. Yeah, taking care of your health because
Yeah,
like you said, what's the point of the money if you're perpetually sick? And it seems like they're getting sick because they're working so much. So
yeah, yeah. I would say, man, like it's good. It looks good on your resume, but unless you're cut out for that type of that level of playing field, like I I wouldn't go after that. I would try to find a company that has really good life balance because like unless you're just cut out for that, unless you just love and you thrive in that type of environment,
yeah,
uh, then go for it. Like if you love that fast paced, like hard working environment, then do it. There's
right.
people that love it. There's people that love that type of that type of stress.
And there was the other article I had up like right before that. It was talking about let me see, one of the CEOs of those major tech companies. He's saying like they're gonna start like cutting costs and being wary of hiring new people. So
Mm,
I've been kind of hearing that there's a tech slowdown.
really?
So
So
it might not even be worth it to try to get in at these FANG companies because they're slowing down. Actually, it was Uber, so it wasn't a FANG, but it's still a pretty major company. Let me
did he say
pull the
why?
article up. Let's take a look at it. Okay, there we go. Uh, Yeah, man, I need to work on getting that Stream Deck integrated. It's kind of a pain switching like all of these windows manually.
You'll get it.
We will treat hiring as a privilege. It's vowed
Costs.
to raise costs at the ride-hailing company in the face of a seismic shift in the financial market, according to the memo sent to employees. I've heard like Uber, they were always kind of having like financial struggles, like trying to be profitable.
Really? Hmm.
Yeah. The company would treat corporate hiring as a privilege, suggesting that the Uber may be looking to freeze or even reduce the staff numbers as it aims to become a leaner operation. Uber is the latest company to commit to a hiring slowdown as the labor market tightens and tech stocks in particular have plunged sharply from their heights at the beginning of the COVID-19 panic.
Hmm.
Meta, the parent company of Facebook, also said it would slow down the pace of hiring for mid-level positions. Yeah, that's pretty crazy, man. It kind of seems like economic, like recession is on the way, man.
Yeah. Like everybody's
Why
pulling
are these
back.
tech companies slowing down? That's like,
Yeah.
do you have any idea?
Um, I feel like, well, at least with, I don't know. I mean, it makes sense. It makes from the way I'm looking at it, with the cost of things going up, maybe they're
Hmm.
being affected some way. Like how, I'm not sure, but in some way, somehow, everybody's gonna get affected by this, like inflation. Everything's going up. Like people want to, constantly make profit, right? They're not ready to to sort of hold on and just ride it out, right? They
Yeah.
companies want to see profit, so like you start cutting people's jobs and you start letting people go, or you stop just hiring altogether. And you start to lean out, meaning like you cut the fat, you get rid of all of these things that you feel are necessary,
Hmm.
to try and stay afloat. Um, and like they say, there's a phrase anyway that they say is like the last one to hire is the first one to be fired, right? So
Right.
if they ever have to let people go, they'll let go of those recent hires.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just think that everybody's suffering from this inflation, um,
Hmm.
and we're trying to survive.
Yeah. Like me personally, I would think like the brick and mortar type of stores would be hit the hardest because they got to pay for the increased cost of loads. Like these trucks got to pay for gas, and gas is higher, and
Mm,
all of this kind of stuff. But
yeah,
it's a lot of tech companies that's getting hit. I think maybe because it's not necessarily that there's something that happened. It's just more so that maybe they're expected to be to turn profits because like for the longest
yeah,
we kind of let them ride and say, okay, they're just in the growth phase, but
hmm,
now they're expected to actually be profitable, and maybe that's why like some of them are tanking.
yeah. It's like you always have to be profitable. You can never have a bad quarter, or
Mhm.
because I think a lot of people are. I'm not sure how it works. I should probably look this up. But if there's shareholders in these companies, and they want your company to be profitable, um, I'm
Yeah.
not sure that like people will pull out if Facebook isn't profitable, or if it looks like it's about to take a dip, or I don't know. I'm just speculating at this point, but I could
Right.
see bad things happening if it looks like, hey, this company's value is going down, or they're not as profitable as they were before. Almost like when iPhone started blocking, or started saying like apps had to consent for ad tracking, and then like
Right.
these social media companies were sort of going through that whole spell. Remember that?
When they started doing tracking.
Yeah. So like when uh when Apple iOS 13, I think it was, or whatever the latest iOS version
Mhm.
is, the one that came out that said apps had to consent to
Oh, okay.
to advertise now, to allow for tracking. So like users had to opt in.
Mhm.
They couldn't just get your data, or sort of
Right.
find out your data that as they used to. And yeah, so like social media sites were like we're being hit the hardest, especially like
Oh
uh,
yeah. Yeah, I don't really remember that because I'm not really never really been an Apple user except like like the iPhone 3 or something. So,
Mm,
but yeah, I can imagine like that would like really hurt Facebook or all of these other tech companies that earn money by tracking you, which is pretty much all of them.
yeah, it's pretty much all of them. Pretty much all of them.
Man, the stock market's been like really weird lately. Like it'll tank and then pop back up 1,000 points, go down 800, go back up
Mm,
1,000, like on a day-to-day basis.
yeah, I don't
Like
keep up with it.
no, yeah, me neither. But I've been, just kind of seeing the news clippings. I don't really understand like what's going on to make that happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
'Cause usually when it tanks, it just tanks. It goes down for days,
yeah,
but it
I guess.
doesn't like go down 1,000, come up 800, go. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I'm kind of thinking like there's some kind of market manipulation there. Like it's going down, but they kind of want to keep it
Maybe,
propped up. That's just
probably.
like what I,
I could see that. People playing with numbers. I could see that.
Mhm.
Yeah, but yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah,
I think everybody should have a savings. Everybody should have or start to try to form some sort of like backup plan and like savings because a lot of this stuff isn't guaranteed, man. I
I
mean,
mean, I was kind of talking to a coworker today about this, and it's just crazy. Like, how are people making it? You know what I mean? Even when you're making six figures or whatever, it doesn't really feel like okay, yeah, I'm balling. It feels like
yeah,
okay, middle class lifestyle.
yeah.
So how do people that make like like 45,000, 50,000? How are they surviving? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like,
They buddy up. They
yeah,
buddy up. I mean,
they're
I'm a
probably
perfect
all living in those
example.
little pods.
Maybe,
I might have to end
maybe.
up doing that, man.
I couldn't see it. Can't see myself doing that.
Yeah, man.
It's
We're in
crazy.
some interesting times, man. Like,
We are. We are. I think it's for it's a matter of perspective of how you look at it, right? Like you can look at it with the doom and gloom. Oh my gosh, like what's gonna happen? Or you could look at it like there's opportunity. I think there's opportunity in a lot of places. Let's just look at
right.
that place that made the pods. You know, like okay,
Yeah.
rent is expensive. Let me just take a home, chop it up, divide it by eight, put eight people in here, and then have them live
Yeah.
out of the unit. You know?
Yeah, exactly, man. There's going to be some opportunities out there. I think, life usually favors those who goes out and seizes the opportunity. You can't just
Yeah.
sit around and let life happen to you. You gotta,
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And I think a lot of people should have that mindset to try and find opportunities when things seem dark and seem desolate. Because it's so easy to just look at life and just sort of get down
yeah,
and just like let life sort of hold you down and put you down and bring you down.
right. Yeah, and you gotta have a plan too. Like, you gotta think about, you know, what are you gonna do if this or this occurs? How are you
Hmm.
going to kind of stave off the madness?
Yeah.
So if the economy starts tanking, you have to sort of think like, what kind of other jobs can I find?
Hmm.
Do I have savings to
Yeah.
last for like 6 months or so?
Yeah. Yeah. I would say yeah, it takes time too. It's not like something that you're gonna come up with overnight. It
Yeah,
takes time. It takes time and practice, and when it does start to work, then you'll be able to. At least in my personal experience, like when I first started like a savings, it was like a little bit here and there. It wasn't even something major. It was like $10 here, ten bucks there, and then
hmm,
eventually over time it became like, oh, I have a $200 saved, $300 saved. Um,
hmm,
and then well, something came up, like the guy that I don't know if I mentioned, somebody tried to steal my car the other day.
right.
Um, when I had to buy another window, it's like, okay, cool, let me just repair my window, and
Yep.
it didn't have to. I didn't have to scrounge for the money to get a new window. It was just there.
Yep, man. It pays to save, man. Like, it may be a little boring living at first, but when you need the money and you see it's there, that's a beautiful feeling.
Yeah, Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, I think that's a good note to end on. What do you think?
I think so.
All right, yeah, we'll catch y'all next time. Peace.
Peace.